Tonight, you're going to do something so normal, you won't even notice it. You'll open your phone. Your thumb will move before you decide to move it. And for a few minutes, maybe an hour, you'll live inside a stream of perfectly lit faces, breaking news, jokes, hot takes, ads that somehow rid your mind, and videos that end exactly when your brain wants one more. Then you'll close the app, and for a second, the room you're sitting in will feel flatter, like your real life has lower resolution than the one you just left. People describe this feeling in different ways: brain fog, burnout, numbness. Sometimes the clinical word is derealization, the sense that the world is real, but you aren't fully inside it. And most of us assume the cause is obvious: too much screen time, too much information, too much dopamine. But that's not the real cost. The secret cost of the attention economy is not that it distracts you, it's that it quietly changes what reality feels like from the inside. Because your experience of life is made out of one substance: attention. And attention is now a mind resource. In 1971, the economist Herbert Simon wrote a line that became prophetic: information consumes the attention of its recipients. Hence, a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. That sentence describes the business model of the modern internet better than any Silicon Valley pitch deck ever did. Because the attention economy isn't a metaphor, it's literal. The platform is free, the content is endless, and the product being sold isn't the app. It's your attention, auctioned in real time to whoever pays the most to capture it. But here's the part most people miss. These systems don't just use your attention. They train it, they shape it, and over time, they change what your brain treats as meaningful. To understand how, you have to start with a very old idea. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner ran experiments on animals using variable rewards. The reward would come, but not every time. Sometimes after one action, sometimes after 10, sometimes after none. That uncertainty created a powerful loop. It made the behavior compulsive. If that sounds familiar, it should. Because the modern feed is a Skinner box you carry in your pocket. Scroll, nothing. Scroll, something funny. Scroll, something enraging. Scroll, a video so perfectly tailored to your taste, it feels like the algorithm reached into your skull and rearranged your childhood. The point isn't that you're weak. The point is that $1 billion industry has become very good at manufacturing maybe, and your brain treats maybe like a problem it must solve. Now, people usually explain this with one word: dopamine. But dopamine isn't a pleasure chemical. In the simplest terms, it's more like a salient signal, a marker that says, this matters, pay attention. So when your day is filled with rapid-fire hits of novelty, headlines, notifications, shorts, reels, your brain starts receiving constant instructions that everything matters. And paradoxically, when everything matters, nothing does. Because attention isn't infinite, it's a budget, and you can go broke. In real life, your attention used to have natural boundaries. The day got dark, the room got quiet, the conversation ended, the book had a last page. But the feed doesn't have edges. It doesn't conclude, it doesn't resolve, it doesn't even rest. It just keeps offering the next maybe. And the first thing that breaks under that pressure is not your productivity, it's your continuity. Psychologist Gloria Mark at UC Irvine has studied how often people switch tasks on screens in the modern workplace. In more recent measurements, the average time before people shift attention is shockingly short, often under a minute. Not because they get bored, because they get interrupted by pings, tabs, messages, and the subtle itch that says, check. And when your attention is constantly torn away, something strange happens to your experience of time. Your day fills up, but it doesn't form a story. Here's why. Your brain doesn't record life like a camera. It records life like an editor. It decides what's important, cuts the rest, and stitches moments into something you can later call my day. That stitching process depends on sustained attention. Because attention is what tells your memory. Keep this. When attention is fragmented, your memory becomes fragmented. And when memory is fragmented, reality starts to feel thin, because your brain can't build a solid narrative out of it. This is one reason modern days blur together. Have you ever looked back on a week where you were constantly online and felt like it barely happened? Like you were busy the whole time, but nothing is there when you try to remember it? That's not just you being dramatic. That's how memory works. Now here's the twist. You might think the solution is more novelty, more stimulation, more content to make life feel real again. But novelty is exactly what the attention economy floods you with, just in the wrong form. Neuroscientist David Eagleman and others who study time perception have described a basic pattern. Novel experiences tend to feel longer in retrospect because your brain lays down richer memories. Routine experiences compress, so you'd expect a day filled with endless content to feel massive. But it doesn't. It feels empty. Because the novelty in the feed is disembodied. It arrives as information without physical consequence. No smell, no temperature, no effort, no risk, no real social cost. Your nervous system learns something from that. 1,000,000 stimuli can pass through you without anything actually changing. And slowly, your brain starts treating experience itself as something you consume, not something you participate in. This is the deepest trick of the attention economy. It trains you to live like an audience member inside your own life. Because watching is always easier than doing. Scrolling is always easier than choosing. Reacting is always easier than building. And the system rewards the easiest mode of being. Then there's another layer, darker and more profitable. In 2019, researcher and writer Shoshana Zuboff popularized a term for what many platforms actually run on: surveillance capitalism. The idea is simple. Your behavior is data, and data is used to predict and shape what you do next. That shaping doesn't require mind control. It only requires tiny nudges at scale. A notification at the right moment. A perfectly timed outrage clip. A comment designed to pull you into a fight you didn't come looking for. And outrage is especially valuable because it hijacks attention like nothing else. When you feel threatened, socially, politically, morally, your brain prioritizes the stimulus. Your body becomes alert. You lean in. Your world shrinks to the thing in front of you. That's not a character flaw. That's a survival system. But if your survival system is being activated 10 times a day by content optimized for engagement, you start living in a permanent state of low-grade threat. And when your nervous system is constantly braced, reality changes texture. The world feels harsher. Your body feels more distant. Your thoughts feel louder. And ordinary moments, quiet moments, start to feel unreal because calm becomes unfamiliar. This is why doing nothing feels so uncomfortable now. Try a simple experiment. Sit in a room for 10 minutes with no phone, no music, no tabs. At first, it won't feel like peace. It will feel like withdrawal. Your mind will reach outward like a hand searching for a railing that isn't there. And when it can't find one, you'll notice something you normally never notice. You are not addicted to your phone. You are addicted to immediate relief from your own attention. And that's the cost. Because the ability to direct attention on purpose is what makes life feel solid. It's what makes a conversation sink in. It's what makes a walk feel like a place instead of a blur. It's what makes music move through you instead of becoming background noise. So what do you do about it? Most advice is shallow. Delete apps, turn off notifications, buy a dumb phone. Those can help. But they miss the real issue. The real issue is that your mind needs friction to feel real. Edges, boundaries, pauses, endings. A life with no stopping points becomes one long scroll, and a scroll is not a story. So the way out isn't to optimize your attention like a productivity machine. It's to protect it like it's your actual life. because it is. Make spaces where nothing is trying to take you anywhere. Meals without a second screen. Walks without audio. Conversations where you don't check if someone else is more interesting. Not as a moral statement, as a neurological one. Because reality isn't something you find. It's something your brain constructs moment by moment out of what you pay attention to. And if your attention is constantly being rented out to the highest bidder, you shouldn't be surprised when your life starts to feel like it belongs to someone else. The attention economy's secret cost is that it makes modern life feel less real by training you to never fully arrive. But the fix is almost offensively simple. Return your attention to the world that can't be scrolled, the room you're in, the body you live in, the people who can't be paused, the days that don't repeat. Because your life feels real in direct proportion to the attention you give it. And nobody, no platform, no feed, no algorithm can live it for you.